Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be a really nice summer recipe. It is going to be a nice cold pasta salad, and we are going to be using chickpeas in it and a whole grain pasta or whatever you can find that is easy to find and very healthy. Use whatever pasta you have, but I'm using a whole wheat. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. Just a very simple summer recipe. So I'm using some fresh greens in the recipe. If you don't have fresh greens, then just substitute for another veggie. Just make sure you have something in there, any kind of veggie you have on hand, but I really like the spinach in this. And then also we are going to make a really easy superfood dressing, and we're going to be using turmeric, and it's so good. You guys are going to love it. So I've gotten asked why I wear this red bracelet all the time. It's a 7-knot bracelet, and I think that it's recognized in many different cultures, but basically the 7 knots are kind of like a repelling negative energy towards you, that type of thing. It's like an amulet. In Buddhism, Kabbalah, Hinduism, many different people believe in the red bracelet, and they have their different ways of wearing it. So it's also known as the Kabbalah prayer bracelet, and it has 7 knots because it is said that they would do the Kabbalah prayer 7 times, and this prayer is associated with protection and with basically like sealing the body and protecting the body. And by wearing this bracelet and you knot it each time you say the prayer, then you are fully protected and no harm can come to you because you are wearing this bracelet that is a protection, and no negative energies can affect you. So that is where the history of the 7 comes from. But again, you can already buy them already knotted, and the symbolism is already there. So as they were saying the prayer, then they were just knotting it as they went along, and then they would put the bracelet on as a form of protection, and I guess like an evil eye, basically. Typically, the Jewish and also Christians will wear it on the left, but that doesn't mean that you can't wear it on the right. It just means typically people of those faiths that believe in the red thread bracelet will wear it on the left side. So I wear mine on the left. It's really weird because initially when I first got the bracelet, I put it on the left, and I only later researched and learned that a lot of people put it on their left hand. It just felt right to me, so that's what I did. So interesting how we already have all this knowledge, but we just don't realize it. So yeah, again, it's just a form of protection. It is like an evil eye, I suppose, and it brings you good fortune. It is a reminder to you of all the courage and the strength that you have within you. No matter what's going on in your life, you can get through it. And again, this is a reminder. The red symbolizes all the courage and strength that you have within yourself to overcome whatever obstacle is going on in your life. And it's also keeping you protected from any negative energies that may come your way. So many people believe that it brings you also health and positivity into your life. So there's many different reasons why people wear it. I wear it because I believe it brings in positivity and positive energy, repels that negative energy, and will give me good luck and good fortune. This is what I believe, but everyone has their own interpretations of their bracelet and what it means to them. So some people would say, why the color red? Why can't it be another color? And really, it's just very simple. Throughout history, red has represented courage and bravery. It represents fearlessness. So that's why I guess the red continued on, and traditions like this have been going on for a long time, longer than probably anyone actually really knows. And yeah, it's just a very simple bracelet. I'm sure you could just make it on your own, or you can purchase it, but yeah, that's why I wear it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here. Today's video is going to be another healthy, easy recipe that will take no time at all. And we are going to be using superfoods and eating an abundance of food that's going to fill you up. And I'm using very staple ingredients as always. And it's going to be a very fresh summer salad recipe. So So I'm just showing you guys all the staple ingredients, just chickpeas in a can. I have some herbs and spices, and I'm using a whole wheat pasta. You guys use whatever you have on hand. That is the healthiest thing that you can find. And lemon or lime is what I want you to use for the dressing. So I'm just boiling up some water, popping in my pasta. Very, very simple. Everybody knows how to make pasta, and you just follow the instructions on the package depending on what type of pasta you choose. So I had to use a combination of lemon and lime juice because I'm just using up what I have in the fridge. You guys know that I always say use whatever you have so you're not wasting food, and just use whatever is easier for you. So I'm using a combination and it worked out fine. So lemon or lime juice or both, whatever you have. And you can see that I'm using a mason jar, and I like to use mason jars because I feel like the dressing just works out so much better in a mason jar. You pop all the ingredients in, you give it a nice shake, and anything extra can be stored super easy in the mason jar, and you don't have to look for a little Tupperware to put your dressing in. You already have it covered. You already have it in the mason jar. So I'm trying to show you guys the measurements as I go along in the video, but don't stress and don't be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to catch everything? Because I will have the full description down below of the whole recipe, so don't worry about it. Just watch so you can see how I make it, and then the full details will be in the comments and the description box below. But yeah, so I mean, I'm just using very staple ingredients like always because I don't like having to go everywhere for things. You guys know that. It's whatever most people have in the cupboard is what we need to focus on, because we don't want to be going to 5 million different grocery stores and spending so much money on different things when really we can do all of these recipes really easily using the same, herbs and spices that you have in your cupboard. No big deal. I use garlic powder and onion powder a lot. I use a lot of lemons and limes a lot. I don't use oil because I'm cutting out those extra calories in the oil. I am sweetening it up with a little bit of maple syrup, which I always have pure maple syrup, not that sugary fake stuff that people have in the grocery store. No, the real thing. And this is coming from a Canadian. I don't know how you guys eat that fake stuff, but find the real stuff and use that to sweeten it. You're going to be, actually getting a lot of nutrition from real maple syrup versus that sugary stuff. I'm popping in some Dijon mustard as well. So yeah, again, the combination of all the ingredients and how much I'm putting of everything will be in the description box. If you like a lot of dressing, I always say this, double up the recipe, and you can always have some extra in the fridge for other days or other recipes. So that'd be a great idea to double it. I feel like this is enough for what we're making, but again, if you like a lot of sauce, a lot of dressing, then double it up. So while the pasta is cooking, I usually just make the dressing, get that over with, since that's pretty much the only time-consuming part of the recipe. And I'm just going to shake it up, like you can see. I'm holding the camera, so I can't really shake it as hard as I normally would. But yeah, you're just going to give that a really good shake, and that way all the ingredients get mixed up really nice. So you're just going to plate your pasta after it's done and drained and allow it to cool off. I'm using this whole wheat bow tie pasta, which I was really happy to find. If you are not comfortable with using the pasta because you are trying to be more low carb, well, that's pretty much the opposite of me. But I get it, because I'd rather have like more potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice versus the pasta. But if you are uncomfortable with the pasta, then just, replace it with something else. Maybe zucchini noodles would be good. So I'm just showing you guys that I'm putting in spinach because I want some fresh greens. That's superfood. Spinach is going into the salad to give us so much nutrition. What a powerhouse spinach is. So now I'm bringing you guys outside into the garden where I have 2 types of basil, just the regular basil, and I also have Thai basil. I'm going to be using just the regular basil in this recipe, but I like to have both types when I can find the Thai basil. It is my absolute favorite. So I'm really happy that it's growing quite nicely, considering I didn't plant it very long ago, and I'm going to be using that in this recipe. If you don't have fresh at home, no big deal. Just buy a little bit at the grocery store. A little goes a long way. I also keep a little bit at my windowsill, and this is just regular basil, not the Thai basil. And I just love it because it's super easy. Just pluck it and add it to whatever dish you are making. So you're just gonna chop up that basil. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could even rip it up. I usually rip up my herbs, to be honest. Once in a while I will cut them up though, so they look a little nicer. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just cutting up my basil, and that way I can add it to my fresh summer salad. The smell from basil is absolutely amazing. I love it. It just, screams summer salad, summer fresh. I love basil. If you don't like basil, then substitute for another herb that you prefer. So yeah, that is what I chopped up. And again, I'll have all of the quantities in the description box, so don't stress about it. And now my pasta has cooled off. I just opened up the cans of chickpeas and I did give them a really good rinse because they are canned. And then I'm just going to give it a little mix. I'm going to add the spinach in. I'm going to add my fresh basil in and some tomatoes and start making this yummy, yummy filling salad. If you don't have chickpeas, don't stress. Use whatever beans you have available to you, but I really like the chickpeas in this particular salad. So yeah, try to find chickpeas if you can. And yeah, depending on how much of the basil you like. I also like to garnish my serving with extra basil, but if you don't want to, you can just add a little bit in as you go and give it a nice mix. And that's totally fine. You don't have to add more later on to your actual dish that you're serving. And now I'm going in and adding all the spinach, and I add a lot because once you put the dressing and everything kind of mixes in, it will wilt down just a little bit. So you want to add as much spinach as you can fit in your bowl, and I use really, really large bowls to encourage myself to add all the extra veggies and make sure that everything gets mixed really well. When you have smaller bowls, you just can't mix things properly and it's kind of frustrating. So I do like to have really big bowls. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut up my tomatoes. I do have yellow and red tomatoes. I like having that variety and a really colorful salad, so that's what I'm doing here. And these are just like little heirloom tomatoes, a mixed bunch that I found, and I'm just chopping those in half, and I'm going to pop them into the salad. So you're just going to toss those tomatoes into the big bowl, and then if you don't have spinach, just choose whatever leafy green you have that's accessible to you, just to add the extra greens into your salad. But again, I love spinach because I want to add those superfoods in. And yeah, I just love this combination in this salad, and it will keep really well in the fridge. The only thing is, if you plan on meal prepping with it, I wouldn't put in the spinach until, the day of that you are bringing it to work or wherever you're bringing it. Just toss in some extra spinach and just leave the rest in the fridge of the salad. Just hold off on the spinach because it will get a little bit too soft if you leave it for too long in the container. The tomatoes will kind of wilt everything down. So yeah, I will add my dressing when I am serving it, and if I am dressing the whole big bowl because a lot of people are eating it, that's fine. I will add my dressing and then serve it immediately, but you don't want to have the dressing on the salad and then pop it into the fridge to keep it. It will just get too soft. The spinach will get soft, the tomatoes are already adding a lot of moisture, so it's better to just keep your dressing on the side and then just add it when you are about to eat it. This salad is so epic. This dressing is amazing. Even people that don't like turmeric are going to like this dressing. So I hope you try it out. And if you do, tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see your summer fresh salad. And if you are just using the dressing on something else, let me know if you're making it. Anyway, thanks so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you watching another video, and give the video a like if you find it helpful. It does help my channel a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're interested in health and wellness videos, then this is definitely the channel for you. So thanks again for being here. Much love, everybody, and I will see you again in another video very soon. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you being here as always. Sorry about the video being late this week, but we did have a death in the family, so it took me a little while to kind of gather my thoughts and do some edits and get the video out. So here it is, and the person that passed away loved food and loved cooking, and I really think that I take after her in many, many ways. And so she's gonna love this recipe and love that I am still showing all my recipes, teaching everybody that healthy and tasty food is possible. You don't have to eat really, healthy food and feel like you are losing out in a sense and not having, something that's going to fill you up and something that is satisfying, because you can have it all. And she really liked that I would create these recipes and share it with people. So I really feel like this is definitely a recipe that she would enjoy, because it's a nice summer, refreshing, cool recipe. So yeah, sorry again about the late video, but it's up now. So give it a like if you find it helpful in any way, and please share the channel to anybody who is struggling and trying to find their way on their health and wellness journey, because again, like I said, healthy can taste delicious and satisfying, and you don't have to deprive yourself. So thanks again for being here. I love you all. Take care, and I will see you soon.